What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades. Today's feature blade is a brand new exclusive from BladeHQ. What we've got here is the Columbia River Knife and Tools Pilar in carbon fiber with upgraded blade steel from HCR13 MOV to Sandvik's 12C27. Alright, now this is a BladeHQ exclusive. I did check right before filming this, and they are still available. There is sort of a premium on the price, though. These are $49.95. Now, I will get into that price more through the review, but I'm going to say it's a little bit on the high side of fair. And compare it to the other versions, to the BladeHQ exclusive G10 version, which was selling for $34.95 and is sold out, and then the standard all stainless frame lock version, which is selling for $24.95. Now, let's take a look at the packaging very quickly. Standard Columbia River packaging. We'll take a look real quick here. You can get your item number and production, where it was made, product of China and whatnot. I'll take a look inside the packaging, and oh, it's empty. Yeah, because all it came with is a little baggie, and then the standard Columbia River fold out care and warranty information, and apparently this is a training manual for how to stand on your desk and cut a hole through the ceiling. I personally do not recommend doing this, even though apparently Columbia River has done the research and is recommending this. So no, I wouldn't do that still. Columbia River, this is just a bad idea, guys. I know it's a joke and all that, but some dumbass is going to do that, and then you're going to hear from their attorney. Please take that out of your paperwork for your own good. All right. Well, let's take a look at some specs here. This knife is the exact same as any other Pilar model except for basically the weight as far as the specs go. So you've got a blade length 2 3/8 of an inch, and that is from the tip to the handle scale. Okay, I included all the blade length just like any local legality would. That's 6 centimeters blade length. The blade stock thickness, a nice hefty 148 thousandths of an inch or 3.76 millimeters. Your blade width at the widest, 1.06 inches or 27.17 millimeters. Your handle length is 3.5 inches or 9 centimeters. Your handle thickness, 441 thousandths of an inch or 11.2 millimeters. Your handle width at the widest, which is up at the pivot, 1.1 inches or 28.1 millimeters. The closed width, and this looks like a really super wide knife, but it's basically because it's so short, because it's still closed at the widest, 1.29 inches or 32.9 millimeters, and that's not bad, guys. Your overall length, 5 7/8 of an inch or 15 centimeters. Your stop pin diameter, a nice chunky 137 thousandths of an inch or 3.5 millimeters. Behind the edge thickness is not too bad, guys, on such a thick blade stock. I got 23 to 25 thousandths of an inch, and that's about 0.62 to 0.65 millimeters. Your handle to blade ratio is a respectable 0.72, and your weight, 3.1 ounces or 88 grams. Now, we'll go into materials, guys, because spec-wise, other than the weight savings from this front G10 carbon fiber laminate scale, the specs are all the same. Material-wise, we do get the change from HCR13 MOV to Sandvik's 12C27, which is a Swedish-made stainless blade steel. It is a very fine-grained blade steel. It performs, if you look at the numbers, as far as the alloying of the steel, it really performs above what you would think it would from the numbers, and that is because unlike a lot of mid-range stainless steels, it is very fine grained. Now, the Rockwell rating on this, the manufacturer's rating is 54 to 61. I would expect to see this in the 56, 57 Rockwell range. But for that range of hardness, it has pretty decent edge retention. And one of the reasons is it's easy to put a fine edge on, but it is packed with carbides. They're just very small carbides. Unlike, say, a 440 series steel, which has a much larger carbide in it. So Sandvik tends to take a very fine edge very well, a razor sharp edge. It is very easy to put a polished edge on for those guys that like mirror polished edges. You've got decent edge retention. In my opinion, fairly typical towards the upper end range for the mid-grade stainlesses. The toughness or impact resistance is decent, and the corrosion resistance is good. I actually like it as far as corrosion resistance. I think it's a little bit better than like HCR 13 MOV. All right, and then into the handle material wise, for the front scale, your big change here is this carbon fiber G10 laminate, and it is in a satin finish, guys. It is not in a glossy finish. It is not glossy at all. It is satin. It makes it look more authentic. It makes it feel more authentic, even though it is a laminate, guys. We'll take a very close look at the edge here, and you can see from the finishing, you can see the transition from the carbon fiber to the G10. But in the G10, the cross section, you get a good view of the layering in the G10, the fiberglass layering. And due to the finish that comes out, it gives it more of a homogeneous sort of look rather than the more glossy laminates where it's just like, and you can just, it just looks totally different, the glossiness of the carbon fiber from the machine side of the G10. And I'm talking about things like the laminate that's used on the Ontario rat knives, and then like on the Ganzo Firebird carbon fiber series. This looks more authentic, even though it's basically the same thing. Now, that's your two big changes, your blade steel and your show side scale. Other than that, it's a Pilar, guys. Stainless frame lock, stainless small parts, natural clear coat anodized backspacer. It's just a Pilar. Now, fit and finish wise, the blade is done in a machine satin. It is very well done, guys. Now, I've gotten some Columbia River knives where the grinds were uneven or just there was something funky, but this one is very well done. The edge grind, if we can catch a little reflection here, is even side to side. The plunge grind, although not quite perfect, is very well done. The finishing is even and very well done overall. Your primary, your swedge grind, your flats, this large opening hole is not rough. There's nothing sharp that shouldn't be sharp. The edge is, it's a working edge, guys. It is a resharpened edge. Okay, any knife enthusiast is going to resharpen this. Just a normal person may use it and then resharpen it, but I will resharpen this myself. I'll put it on the KME. But fit and finish is pretty doggone good, guys. There's nothing that's rough that shouldn't be. There's nothing that's sharp that shouldn't be. Your markings, your laser etching markings, very simple on the front with your Columbia River marking. On the back, you've got the product name, the Voxnaes design, that's Jesper Voxnaes. and then your item number. The one thing that is missing that I thought would be there is no steel designator on this, guys. I thought that they would at least note that it was a steel upgrade on the knife itself, and they did not. Again, there's nothing on the packaging. Yes, sir, it actually is. I'm sorry. It is noted on the packaging there. So, I was a little surprised it was not noted on the product itself. Fit and finish on the handle. Guys, honestly, I came into this, it's a Columbia River product, and I think, there's some little things here and there on Columbia River products. But there's nothing here, guys. There's no machining marks. There's nothing wrong with the finish on the parts. This scale looks great. It looks as good or better than any carbon fiber G10 laminate that I've seen on the market, regardless of price. And I think it's this satin finish, guys. It's like I say, it's just more of a homogeneous sort of look. The transition from the carbon fiber into the G10, it just looks better when you don't have that sort of cheap, glossy look to it. The small parts, the hardware screws, are in a radially machined finish, satin finish, and it gives you that nice starbursty sort of effect, which I love on stuff. The hardware looks, it's fairly deep socketed. It looks pretty good. Fortunately, on my example, there's no reason to take this knife apart. I had absolutely no reason to take it apart, no plans to take it apart. So I'm not worried about the hardware, but I expect it to be typical Columbia River quality. Take that as you may. All right, the fit and finish between the back spacer and the show side and lock side scale, perfect, guys. I mean, look at that closely. Nothing wrong there. Nothing wrong there, guys. The finish on the lock side, bead blast finish. It is a nice, soft, smooth bead blast finish. Nothing wrong there. The only thing, obviously, that jumps out to me that needs to change on the back is the pocket clip orientation, and that's just me personally. It definitely will get changed. Excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. It will get changed to a tip up orientation. Again, your stainless hardware, and that pocket clip is not reversible for left-hand carry. Sorry, left-handed people. You know what? It's standard Pilar, guys. The lockup on mine, pretty early. No issues there on the lockup, guys. The action, a little dry out of the box, but the centering, if not perfect, is damn near perfect. The detent's good, not too stiff, but you're not going to shake this out. Partially because it's such a small, lightweight blade, and the detent is fairly stout, but not too stout. Guys, I mean, there's nothing wrong in the fit and finish. There's nothing wrong in the action. It's a Pilar. It's a more premium Pilar, guys. Now, as far as the ergos and utility go, that's why this knife is popular, guys, is the ergos and utility. It is a small knife, overall length. You're looking at 5 7/8 of an inch, less than 6 inches. So if you've got a normal grip, and I have medium-sized hands, normal grip, you're looking at a 3-finger grip. But you come forward to this excellent forward and blade oriented choil, and you get a full grip. Your thumb falls on the dished backside, the spine of this blade, which does not have jimping. But it gives you a nice, big, wide, flat surface. You're looking at, 3.76 millimeter stock, guys, almost 4 millimeters. So it's very comfortable to use. Your rotation point now is right in this choil, and you can get right up on that blade edge for any detailed work or more heavy-duty work where you want more control of the blade, and that is why this knife is so popular. Jesper Voxnaes, when he designed this knife, he designed almost the perfect little knife, guys. And that is why this knife is so popular in every iteration and at any price. I suspect you are going to see a flood of reviews on this model in the next few days. And it's going to sell very well, I believe. Now, that said, and after we talk about the upgrades and the fit and finish and the action, and we talk about the ergos being so good, you know, there's a couple of things that I really like about this knife, little details. I love the ball milled lock bar tension relief here. I've always thought that was just the best looking, one of the best looking things about this knife. I love this sort of pillared sort of machining around the screws that are holding the knife together. I always have liked that on any knife that does that. You know, just overall the design is very attractive. This sort of sheep's footy type of blade is very utilitarian and very easy to use. Not pokey, stabby, piercy at all, but as far as slicing, not too bad. I would have liked to have seen the edge just a little thinner, and I will change that. I will modify that edge angle when I resharpen it. And of course, this forward choil gives you the perfect sharpening choil. You are well out in front of that plunge grind. You know, just very utilitarian, very easy to carry, very small, but using that forward choil, very big in the hand. And when I say very big, I don't mean like it's very big. I mean, it's just perfect. It feels like a full-size knife when you go to that forward choil. Now, I've not really had anything bad to say about this knife, and honestly, guys, I don't have anything bad to say about it. One thing that I wanted to talk about, I would like to have seen a more high-end washer material. On this show side, you've got a very large diameter white nylon washer. I can't see on the back, and I'm not going to take it apart, guys. I've got no interest, but I think that it may be a phosphor bronze on the front or on the lock side, guys. I can't tell. I'm getting a little bit of gleam off of it, but it could be nylon itself, and I would have liked to have seen that in just phosphor bronze on each side. And you know what? I still don't understand why knife companies don't use phosphor bronze, because if you go out and price it, even on a small scale, it is just pennies more than the other materials. I don't know if it's an effort in manufacturing it takes to stamp out washers from phosphor bronze rather than nylon. There could be something there I don't know about. Admittingly, there is a lot that I don't know about. But I'd like to see phosphor bronze. Now, this knife at $49.95, what are you getting? Not a lot, guys. Not a lot. And I'm going to compare this to the previous exclusive from BladeHQ, and that would have been the blue and orange G10 handled versions. Because basically what you've got here is a G10 handled version, just as with the carbon fiber laminate, which admittingly very attractive, guys. It does lighten it up over the standard all stainless version, and it does give you the look of the carbon fiber, and in a little more premium way, a perceived premium way than a lot of G10 carbon fiber laminates. I think this is very attractive overall as a package. A very good look and take on this knife. But what are you getting for $49.95 over the $24.95 cost of the basic model? It's a little more lightweight, guys, and the steel upgrade, 12C27 is not really a huge step up from 8CR13 MOV. It's more of sort of a diagonal step sideways and up a little bit. What you get out of that steel is slightly better edge retention, but the big takeaway on 12C27 is the edge quality. It is a much finer grained, much more closely controlled during manufacturing stainless steel than HCR13 MOV is. It takes, in my opinion, and many other people's opinion, it takes a higher quality edge. You know what, and that really, when you're comparing apples to apples, if you've got one that is just, oh, it's so good, and then you got one that is just slightly better, which one are you going to eat? Well, I'm going to eat the slightly better one, and that's what you get with 12C27. That said, I think that if you only have one Pilar, get this one. If you already have a standard version and you already have a G10 version, you may want to think about whether you want to spend the $49.95. But I don't regret it myself, since this is the only Pilar in my collection, and it probably will be unless they do a truly deluxe or high-end version of it. So I think that in certain respects, for certain people, the value to cost ratio is going to be good. For other people, they're going to say, no, it just doesn't give me enough over what I already have for double the cost, and they'll pass. And I understand both mindsets and both views of it. So this is what I would like to see from Columbia River. This is what everybody else wants to see from Columbia River, and I'm going to tell you right now, Columbia River, if you do this, you will sell them. This is what we want. We want a truly premium version of this knife. And we're just going to base this off of what we've got in front of us. Give us a true solid carbon fiber front scale. Stainless hardware. Give us a titanium frame lock with a hardened lock face and over travel insert, and dual phosphor bronze washers. And then upgrade this blade steel, use another stainless steel, and do a slight upgrade, and do it in Sandvik's 14C28 or VG10 or 154 CM, and take that true step up in the stainless without being exotic. Now, we know from the market, Chinese-made products, that it is possible to do something like that for around $100. And if you could do that in this knife, true carbon fiber, a true upgrade in steel, and a titanium frame with hardened insert and phosphor bronze washers, if you could do that and sell it for $100 to $110, maybe $120, I believe it would be very easy to sell these to knife enthusiasts. Now, your everyday Joe that spends $20 on a knife, he's not going to buy this version anyway. So they're probably not going to buy the premium. But you got to know that all of your knife enthusiasts will pony up the bucks for this excellent, excellent design at an actual real premium level. So I'm going to recommend this knife with the caveats that I've already gone over as far as your perception of the value to cost. And I'm really happy with it. Honestly, guys, I am. I'm surprisingly happy with this knife. It's well made, it's smooth, it's lightweight. It looks good, guys. I mean, it looks really good. I'm surprised. Literally no flaws in my example at all. And that's all you could ask for in any knife. So, as always, guys, I thank you for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.